Firstly, thank you very much for coming down to our centre on the Springfield Road, the Belfast Multi Cultural Association. My name is Ali Khan, one of the trustees of the BMCA. And in answer to your question, I was part of the Belfast Islamic Centre for many years, and we felt that there was a very big need to serve not just our community, but the outside community, the non-Muslim community. And at that time, we really felt that a food bank, stroke clothing bank, stroke furniture bank was needed. Unfortunately, our centre in South Belfast wasn't big enough. So then we acquired a premises in Donegall Pass, a church building, which was a very big building, 2 floors, very big openings, in and out, entrances, ease of access. And that was in 2015, so approximately seven years ago. And so we purchased a building, and then because the building was a bit run down, we started renovating it. And in the process, we basically started our initially we started our food bank, and we then, as Muslims, because our faith is Islam, and our practice of our faith is that we pray 5 times a day. So together with our food bank, we started our prayer as well, because the volunteers were coming in at all different times. So it was a food bank and a place for us to pray. So that was around 2018, 19, and we really went to grips around the pandemic. That's where we really started to go out and really give out to the community around that time. It was how can I put it? It was such an accomplishment from a Muslim community to give out to the poor. We served, the homeless, the care homes. At that time in the pandemic, we went out to the nurses, to hospitals, fire brigades, police stations, everywhere where we can actually help and give out food. And especially people who were at home isolating, we gave out food bags. Good volunteer base we had. So that was pretty busy in around 2020. And also the centre wasn't just for the food bank. When we looked at purchasing the centre, it was because there was a big need for integration. There was a big need for Islam, people to know about Islam, because there was unfortunate events that were taking place in around the outside world, and we really wanted to show the outside world that this is not who we are. So the centre that we purchased was going to become a central focus of our Islam, of our teachings, and also to help people to integrate, also Islamic awareness sessions, because that was a very big topic, and it's a topic now as well, is that who are we? What are we? What is our religion? What is our practice? And are you part of a certain, unfortunately, a terrorist organization, which we honestly were not, So this centre was not just a food bank, it was much more. But if I can speak about the events that took place, unfortunate events that took place 2 years ago when we had a fire at the premises, which I think a lot of people found out about that, not just local and not just national, but international, where our centre was unfortunately set alight, which the fire started from the roof and it came all the way down. I was actually traveling at that time. I was actually on the runway going to Pakistan, and I heard the news, and my first gut feeling was that our volunteers and the people who came in to do the food packs, I just hope nobody was hurt. And luckily, they left 20 minutes before the actual place was put on fire. So that was approximately 2 years ago. And after the fire, Fourth Spring, where we are at the minute in Springfield Road, kindly helped us to relocate our centre in this building that we are sitting in at the minute. And in around the building, we have our prayer place, and then we have our food donation place, and then we have our clothing bank as well. Although, it's maybe a quarter of the size of our centre, but we still carried on doing what we were doing, But again, moving fast forward, it's 2022, now it's coming into 2023. Unfortunately, we are still at the centre here, which we are going to be relocating very soon as well. But we still have the other centre, which we renovated approximately 5-6 months ago. We were hoping to move back in, but the day the roof went up, the next day, unfortunately, it was set alight again, which hampered all our progress again. So we're back to square one again. And I think truthfully, we've been welcomed where we are. So we will be setting up base again in West Belfast. And in around the first fire, it's unbelievable the amount of support that we got from a lot of the non-Muslim charities and the non-Muslim organizations. We got quite a lot through GoFundMe, which was paid back to fix the building. But then unfortunately the second incident threw us back into square one. So firstly, I really, really thank all the people and all, especially the non-Muslims who came forward and helped us, because it's only a minority who unfortunately really sort of, spoils it for the majority. We are here, we are where we are, and our Muslim community is growing. And again, we want to integrate. We are integrating, and our doors are open all the time for anybody to come and sit with us and listen to us and listen to what we are and what we're doing.
Yes, that you're providing invaluable support to the community in providing access to food, access to clothing, after items of household furniture, probably for children too, in a city that has a significant portion of it that is working class, that is low income, and especially during the pandemic, supporting essential workers. For me, you are a part of what makes Belfast great, and you have helped thousands, and you still have this drive to continue. Can you tell us more about where this drive to continue assisting the city that you live in, despite those two traumatic experiences?
I think it's a very important question that you just mentioned there. Islam teaches us human compassion. As a Muslim, and one of our pillars is charity, and that when we earn our money, we have to give 2.5% of our wealth to charity, and that's every single year. So, in general, human compassion is built inside us. That's what Islam teaches us. Now, as regards to the drive, I think if anyone visited any of the Muslim countries, like my parents are from Pakistan, if you visit Pakistan and you go to certain areas, you will see the human compassion there. You will see how the people are there. They wouldn't even let you pay for anything. They will give you food. They will give you everything because you're our visitors, and they just out of their heart. And some of these people, they might not even, they might be earning 10, 15, 20 pounds a day or something, but when they see a visitor, they will give you out of their heart. Now that is embedded inside us. And when we were doing the food packs, I was going out myself. I was going out collecting food myself. I was bagging the food myself with the volunteers. Then I was delivering it myself, because this was very important for us to do that. Number one, to pay back to the community, to the people that helped us, and not just helped us, but in the land that we live in, we have to respect everyone, just as they have to respect us as well. So when we were going out, when we were opening doors or giving food out, and we feel the draft coming in to us, or the draft coming out, we know that this family probably hasn't got any heat in the house. We've just dropped our food there. So we're asking them questions. Listen, do you need anything else? Do you need any other help? And this was helping us to understand, the issues and the problems that are out there. And we try to alleviate these issues and problems by getting together as a Muslim community and basically providing the food or the clothing. And then we started into furniture because we were going to certain properties. We helped the traveller community. In around that time, there was a lot of non-Muslims who were coming to us through Facebook, where they never had any furniture because a house executive didn't provide them with certain things, so we were providing them with furniture. Then we had homeless people coming and saying, okay, we haven't got any homes, can you provide us with food? So we're dropping food off. And then we had people living, coming from different institutions and having a house and not having food. So we're delivering to quite a few different sort of people in different ways. And that even made us more motivated that there's a bigger problem out there. There's a much, much bigger problem out there than we actually sort of thought of, And also, as I said, it's part of our life as a Muslim that we give back. We give back to the community, irrespective if it's Muslim or non-Muslim, that we give back to the community. And we have so many professionals in our community. I mean, the premises itself, it could have hosted a lot of different events. We wanted to open a kitchen there for the homeless to feed them every single day. We had barbers, we have doctors, we had everyone within our community. We wanted to make it like, somebody comes in, say a homeless person comes in and goes out looking like a model, fed, a haircut and everything, and also, a doctor seeing him as well at the same time. This is what we really wanted to do, But the drive's always been there from day one, that, we have to help the less fortunate. I mean, God has given us health, He's given us wealth. And on the day of judgment, we're going to be answered for that. We're going to be asked that, I gave you the health, what did you use it for? I gave you the wealth, what did you use it for? So we're going to be answerable on the day of judgment, So again, it's our own compassion. Islam teaches us to help other people, and that's why we set this up,
So that's who you are.
Yeah.
That's just fundamentally who you are. Because we've met speaking at rallies and protests, and you're such a great speaker to begin with, but you've always been so eloquent when it comes to fighting for those indeed less fortunate or the most marginalized in our society.
That's right.
Asylum seekers, the most deprived, the homeless, the unemployed, the disenfranchised youth, and you providing them with dignity and a very equal footing, just a very simple human response. What are you going to continue working with the BMCA, and where are you going to be setting up, and how do you see the future of the work that you're doing?
100%. BMCA is here to stay. Again, we're in temporary premises at the minute, and we're hoping that once we make our mind up about the main premises on where we're going to be moving to, because we really want to have a purpose-built place. We want to have a purpose-built centre. When you look around the world, even putting the world to aside, when you look in Dublin, in Southern Ireland, you have purpose-built Islamic centres there. And within the Islamic centres, you have kitchens, you have facilities for the homeless, you have food banks, you have clothing banks, because that's what we want to do, have a purpose-built centre in Northern Ireland. Yes, we're a bit far away at the minute, but that is what basically we are aiming for. But in the interim period, yes, wherever we move to, we will still have the food bank going, we will still have the clothing bank going, and we will still have the furniture bank going, So that is the interim future of BMCA. It's just unfortunate that our main premises, and I keep going back to the premises because that was a dream for us. That was a dream that we actually have a big premises for anyone to come in to be able to help anyone at any particular time. But unfortunately, that was dampened. But again, we are where we are, and we move forward. We don't have any bad feelings for the people who've done that. We just pray that they come to us and we explained to them that this is what we were doing. There was nothing wrong that we were doing. And yes, one of the questions that was asked to me in a radio presentation is that, do you forgive them? Of course. Our Islam is a forgiving religion, and they burnt us out once and forgive them. They burnt us out again and we still forgive them. And let's hope there's not a third time. But again, if any of you are listening, we're here. Come and talk to us. Come and see us. That's what we are. We are open people. We are religious people. Our faith is very important to us. And we're business-minded people. We're professional people. Islam, you would see, if I go into Islam, they're pioneering of a lot of different sort of people in Islam have shown a lot to do with science, medicine, optical, everything. You when you go back in history, you will see there was a lot from the Islamic people who were pioneers of a lot of different things that are happening now. But again, as I said, as regards to BMCA, we want to get bigger, and we want support from the government. We want support from councillors, and we've had good support. But unfortunately, at the minute, it's a lot of lip service at the minute. But we just move forward and try to be the best. And we're non-funded, zero funded. With BMCA, absolutely zero funding. Everything comes from the community. Even at the pandemic, when we were making hot foods, we had friends who had restaurants and they were closed down and they weren't making no money, they were closed, yet they were still going out and helping to make food, use their gas, use their premises and give out to the community, So moving forward, we're hoping that we get some certain help that is very much needed for our centre to run.
How has the community responded after the second fire?
Just like the community responded to the first fire, the second fire, we had so much love from the non-Muslim community as much as we had from the Muslim community. However, unfortunately, the second fire really dampened a lot of things, and the area in South Belfast, and South Belfast is a great area, very, 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 very multicultural. But unfortunately, at this particular area, there are certain issues and certain problems, But again, remember, it's only a minority. The majority have supported us, and they are carrying on supporting us with clothing. We have a clothing bank still at the old centre. Okay. The clothing bank is still there, and people are still contributing towards that. And we're still going out and collecting food and still dropping food off, But yes, we still have a lot of lovely people in Northern Ireland who are still supporting us.
How can we support us tangibly? Where can we help with the food bank? Where can we help with the clothing bank? Where can we donate? How can we contact the BMCA?
Again, our main contact is Facebook, Belfast Multi Cultural Association. Our email is bmcabelfastmulticultural@gmail.com. And anybody who wants to help us can go onto the Facebook and also go onto the send us an email as well, or message on Facebook. And again, we're non-funded, so any kind of sort of help, we're a registered charity, any kind of help would be great. Any donations or any food donations or any clothing donations, we're there to sort of help and take and then deliver.
Do you have anything you want to add?
I think for the listeners, especially for the listeners, it's very important to take on board that, number one, we're a Muslim organisation. For a Muslim, his faith is very, very, very important. So wherever we go, our faith is important, our prayers are important to us. And when we pray to God, we pray not just for us, but everyone around us, for the poor, for the needy, for the helpless people, And again, we try to provide Islamic awareness sessions as well, which we are doing as well at the BMCA. So anybody, and especially listeners, if they want to know a bit more about us, get in contact. We will be able to tell you a bit more about Islam. We'll be able to tell you a bit more about what we do at BMCA. And it would be great for you to just come into the centres, into the mosque, into the Islamic centres and talk to us.
Yeah.